Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from this video, I just wanted to do a little quick sit down chit chat sort of thing with you all about why I will continue to support smaller up and coming bands on my channel. Now this is all due to an experience that my husband and I had this past weekend on Sunday. Sunday we drove, it's about an hour or so to Raleigh, North Carolina to see a couple of bands that were playing in a record store, and that's my first experience of seeing bands in an unconventional venue like that. I've only ever seen them in venues that are built specifically for music and have the stage, the backstage, place for the merch tables, a bar, and obviously the general admission area where people go stand and watch the band. Like, it wasn't a record store, this place is purely for that, for selling music and for selling records and albums and like, we didn't know what to expect. This place was tiny also, and it melted my heart because one of the bands I have actually checked out on the channel before, and they are called Soft Spoken. We reacted to their song Love Talk, and I think they have about 3.3k subscribers or something like that over on their YouTube channel, so they are still very small and still up and coming. And this is why I admire Old School Nerd, because every Saturday on his channel he will have an up and coming Saturday where he will feature a band that has less than 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and he will put that out to his audience. But then he also does a Twitch stream that Saturday morning where he has people send in recommendations for up and coming bands, so long as they're under that 10,000 sub mark. And I think that's wonderful. And I will always try and push out newer bands out there to people, especially if I enjoy them. Well, obviously if I enjoy them, because it blows my mind that there's so many bands out there that have so little views and so little subscribers. But I know how hard it is because I see the numbers for myself. Those up and coming bands videos obviously don't get the views that, say, Bandmade or Love Bites or a bigger band like that would. And I'm not about the views. I'm about experiencing new music and introducing that to a wider audience, and hopefully even if it's just one person that finds this band from a video I've made, that's it. That's my job done at the end of the day. And so yeah, we went to go see these two bands, Soft Spoken and If Not For Me. Now, of course I knew Soft Spoken previously. We checked out a song on the channel, so that afternoon we decided to go. We just said, screw it, let's go. It's a school night, it's a work night, but let's go. Let's have fun, let's experience it. Life is too short for what ifs. And so I messaged the band and was like, hey, my husband and I will be there tonight. Can't wait to see you. They messaged me back with a sweet message saying, oh, Tori, we can't wait to meet you in person. Just being friendly, just being nice. And I never thought they would greet me the way they did. And I haven't heard much of If Not For Me previously to Sunday evening. That Sunday afternoon I actually had a live stream on my Twitch for my 4-year anniversary. Like, it was my 4th year of my first upload on YouTube. So my husband joined us for that Twitch stream, and his pick was some If Not For Me. So that was my first experience of listening to the band, and I knew he wanted to go see them. So we went. And there were 4 bands altogether. 2 of those were actually local to Raleigh. I can't remember their names, I'm so sorry. But the first band was more like pop punkish, and they were pretty good. They got the crowd going and ready. The second band, musicality, they were fantastic. I think the only piece of advice I would have for the vocalist is just confidence. Build some confidence. You need to have that a little bit of swagger to be a front person. You know, if you have to go inside your mind and go somewhere else, then do that. There's no shame in that, you know. So of course, obviously, nerves and that lack of confidence. His vocals were a little bit off, but other than that, you know, they were fantastic. They also got the crowd riled up and ready to go for the other two bands. And so we walked into this venue and it was tiny. It was chilly outside, so I did have a jacket on, but with it being small, and I think there was about 50 people in there, maybe a little bit less, I'm not sure. I'm no good at judging crowds like that. So it got pretty warm. And so I took off my jacket. I bought a t-shirt for If Not For Me. And after the first band played, I decided to run back to the car and throw that stuff in the car because I just didn't want to hold it. And thankfully the car was literally just parked outside, close to the venue. And as I walked back in, I, you know, noticed that the drummer and the singer were of Soft Spoken were at their merch table. So I went to go approach and introduce myself, and they recognized me first. They were like, Tauri! Like, we're so happy you're here. And Sam, the vocalist, gave me a massive hug, and then Kevin, the drummer, also did the same, and we just got talking for a good 10 minutes just about their music, about life, about how they're traveling, where they've been, what they've been doing, and that they've hopefully got new music coming out in the new year, a lot of it. And so I invited Sam, the vocalist, onto a Talks with Tauri at some point, so hopefully we'll get to do that soon. My husband was there also, just chatting away and asking questions, and they were just so warm and so welcoming and so humble, and it just made me really, really happy. So this was like during the interval between the first and the second band. So as the second band was ready to start, we, you know, of course, we were like, we want to, of course, chat with you guys and hopefully meet the rest of the band after you guys play. But we're going to go, like, obviously watch the second band, and like, okay, that's fine, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we went to go watch the second band. As I said, just a little bit more confidence, and they'd kill it. And when they finished and wrapped up, I needed the bathroom, so I walked around the back. There was only one toilet in that place, the other was out of order. Robin went in first, and as I'm waiting, you know, of course, the way to the backstage, well, not backstage, but the way to where everybody had their stuff and their trucks and their cars and their U-Hauls were parked out back. So they were unloading, you know, the older drum kit and bringing on the new one, and I'm like trying to not get in the way because it was only a small little space in between. And this person walks by and he does like a double take, and he's like, "Are you Tauri?" And I was like, "Yeah, hi." And he's like, "Oh, I'm Cody. I am the drummer for If Not For Me, but I also own Theora Records, and I know we've worked together quite a lot with that." And I was like, "What? Really? That's awesome. It's like, it's so nice to meet you." And he's like, "It's so awesome to meet you in person too, and I just want to take a moment to thank you for everything you do, you and other reactors do for smaller bands, because I know how hard it is, and I know it's not easy, and I want to set you up with some merch." And I was like, no, I think, you know, it's fine. I've already bought a t-shirt from If Not For Me, and that's fine. You don't need to give me anything. I don't ever expect freebies from bands or managers or anything like that. You know, the best way to support a band is through physical copies of albums, vinyls, or merchandise, and I like buying t-shirts or hoodies. It's just, I like showing my support that way. So anyway, the conversation ends. I go to the bathroom, and we head on out, and of course it's time for Soft Spoken to play. they play their set. Incredible, incredible. Such brilliant energy, and even in just that small little space, the atmosphere was fantastic. And you could tell that Sam is one of those vocalists that does need to transport himself to somewhere else. But I love seeing that. I love him getting into that character, if you will, and seeing that confidence just coming up. And they sound so much better live. I love when bands sound better live than they do on their studio stuff. There's just something about being there and hearing the bass and the from the speakers and all of that. You guys know what I'm talking about. You're music lovers too. So they finished up, and then of course If Not For Me came on, and they pulled everybody super, super close to where they were. And I was literally like, from where I am to the microphone, like in distance to where the guitarist was.
Raleigh, no more playing games. I wanna see this shit open up. Always giving up, never good enough, was it? Everything you want, good enough.
I've never been that close to a band before like that, and their energy was off the charts too. Incredible, incredible sound. And you know, it makes me want to check these guys out in bigger venues with better sound systems. And I had such a brilliant time. And both of those bands just put on such fantastic shows with so much energy, and they were so thankful that even this tiny little crowd was there, and it was there for them, and it was there to support them. And it just shows you that these people, these bands that are small, like, no matter how little they play to, they'll play their hearts out, because that's their passion and that's their dream. And so both bands, obviously the bands finish and people are wanting photos, and as I'm walking to go to Robin and then go to If Not For Me, Cody comes up, the drummer of If Not For Me, and he's like, he just hands me, he doesn't say anything, he just hands me a CD of theirs, which I haven't even taken the protective covering off. You know, one of their CDs. And Robin picked up the set list and had that signed by the guys, which is, you know, it's always super cool when you can get little things like that. But the biggest thing I've ever gotten from a band without paying for it, without even asking for it, like, you know, those protective, I think they're called drum heads that go over the drum kit, and a lot of times bands will have them signed and for sale at their merch table. He just randomly handed me one and was like, he didn't say anything, and it was just like, thank you for everything you do for smaller bands. I still can't believe it. That's crazy to me that somebody's so thankful for what I do here in my little space, and I make silly reaction videos that go up on YouTube, and it means the world to them. I also got my first ever drum stick. I've never gotten one before. I've never even got a plectrum, but this was from the drummer Kevin of Soft Spoken. He'd actually thrown them out into the crowd, and I think somebody picked up one, but one was just like left on the floor, and if nobody had gone to get it, I was gonna get it. But I was like having a conversation with Robin, and the next thing I know, Kevin's running over to me with the stick, and he just like hands it to me as he's trying to like pack up and make sure everything was ready for, if not for me. So I think that was awesome. Uh, and yeah, then we, of course, at the end when everybody had finished, we got photos with both bands and talked to them for another good 10 minutes. But then we had to shoot off because obviously we've got dogs and they'd been home since we left and it was an hour drive and we had to get back to let them out. Plus with it being a work night, my husband had to get up this morning to go to, well, this morning, I'm filming this Monday. I'm not sure when I'm going to release this. But yeah, he had to get up and go to work. I am super tired. You can tell you're getting older when you wake up feeling hungover after going to see a couple of bands. But yeah, that experience alone and that feeling of gratitude, I guess, and feeling like what you're doing is worth it, just makes me want to continue supporting smaller bands like this. And as I said in the beginning, you know, Old School Nerd has a set day, a Saturday, where his up and coming reactions come out. And I feel like I kind of need to do something similar. Like my reactions just come out willy nilly here and there, and I don't really have like a set schedule for them. If I find a band that's smaller, that somebody's requested, I'll just throw it out there. I don't really have a set day. So I don't know if you guys are interested in a set day for like smaller up and coming bands, or if I should just continue doing what I'm doing and do it that way. But yeah, I want to thank both bands, Soft Spoken and If Not For Me, for just being wonderful and for being so kind and so welcoming and so humble, and their passion just truly, truly shows. I hope you guys, I know we were the last show of this little tour you guys were doing, so I hope you guys got home safely, and yeah, just thank you. Thank you for everything, and it melts my heart. It makes me want to push and continue doing what I'm doing. I was feeling a little burnt out, not from the channel, just from life. Honestly, you know, we all go through rough patches, and I of course I struggle a lot with homesickness and being away from family, because it's just my husband and I in this state. You know, his kids, my stepdaughters, are in two different states, and his family are in Tennessee, and we don't have anybody here. So when it comes to the holiday period around now, it can get a little lonely, not in the sense of being alone and not without anybody. Of course, I have my husband, but lonely in the sense of that nostalgia feeling and hanging out and being with family. I mean, I come from a pretty big family on my dad's side, and we would always get together and do stuff together for Christmas or the New Year, or, you know, things like that. And I miss it. I do miss it at times, but I'm thankful for you guys and for your support, and I hope you enjoyed this little sit down chit chat. I didn't want to make it too long, and just to say, yeah, I will continue supporting smaller up and coming bands, because it blows my mind. Like when I come across a band and they've got like 1,000 subscribers, if that, and they sound so well put together, and they've got maybe what, 2,000-3,000 views on a video. It's crazy. Like, and I know this music scene is so big, and there's so many talented people out there that are contributing to it, and I'm not gonna ever be able to listen to absolutely everything, because that's just, I'm one person, which is why requests get a little bit hard, you know. And why you shouldn't expect something from me unless you come to my Twitch channel, and then I stream Mondays and Fridays, and I will take your requests then. But yeah, it's just, I'm one person. I do all the editing myself. I do everything you see on my channel is just done by me. Like, my husband is supported behind the scenes, of course he is, and he'll join me here and there on a stream, but everything else is me. And it just, like, that evening really made a fantastic start to my week. And again, I know I've said it a million times, but I just want to thank these two bands, and for any future bands that I get to see, and that do recognize me, and do thank me for what I do. It makes it worth it, you know. But I think I've talked enough for this, and I'm gonna wrap this up. And I love you guys, and thank you for your support too. My channel would not be here or be anywhere close to what it is without you. And there was a crazy story. Like, my mom is in Vietnam, and she'll shortly be going to Thailand soon. And she was on this like overnight boat cruise, and a lady from California came up to her, and they started talking, and somehow they got onto the conversation of me, and that she follows me from California, and yet she was in Vietnam at the same time as my mum was. Like, the way this world is so small with how we have the internet and the way of connecting to people. I like, it's scary, but it's also wonderful at the same time. And I'm just I'm so incredibly thankful to do what I am able to do here. And yeah, I I hope if you guys ever meet me that I'm just the same person that I am, that you see on screen, because I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I don't, my reactions aren't over the top, because I can't do that. I would burn myself out so fast. Like, I am a quiet person. I am very reserved. I was talking to Sam and Kev of Soft Spoken about being extremely awkward in crowds at shows, especially when it's so intimate and small like that. Where I was like, I don't know where to put my hands. Like, I don't know what to do with them. Like, in a bigger show, nobody can really see your hands. So I was like, I don't know what to do with them. Do I crut? Do I just? I don't want to stand there like this because it looks like I'm bored. I don't want to like where did they go? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to become a Taurian. Speaking of becoming a Taurian, all of my social media links and my Discord link are down in the description. We'd absolutely love to have you come hang out in the Discord community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.